And welcome to Ozarks Live. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the beginning of the work week. But it's also like National Take a Nap Day.
Yeah. That would have been a really good idea for most of us today.
I think so.
Did you sleep well last night?
I slept. I mean, I don't know if I'd consider it well or not. First of all, when you wake up and it's dark.
It's pitch dark. I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't sleep all that well. I don't think it was necessarily because of that. But let me tell you what happened. You know, Friday I was talking about don't forget to spring forward, set your clocks and all of this. Well, I figure I'm going to be, you know, on the ball here. So I, before bed, go to the kitchen clock, which is the one that burns me, right? So I go in there, I set the coffee pot so the coffee will be right, set the kitchen clock so that one won't get me. There's one analog clock in the living room, big giant one. Yeah, switch it. Go to bed. Get up the next morning.
I haven't heard, but I have this feeling.
Well,
go ahead.
Here's what happened. I laid there and I looked at the clock and I thought, okay, CBS Sunday Morning, which is like my favorite show of all time. I've still got like 45 minutes. I wonder why I'm up so early. I don't know. So I sit there and I'm playing on my phone. I'm reading Twitter. I'm checking out what's going on in the world. I hadn't even turned the TV on yet. Didn't bother to look at the phone clock. That little analog clock in the bedroom, hadn't been reset.
No.
So we're like an hour in, and I don't realize it until it's too late. So yeah, I got burned like I always do.
Okay, that's not the way I expected it. What I really was expecting for you to say was, and I forgot that my daughters also live there. And they set it up another hour, so everybody was up even 2 hours.
Well, when I went to bed, I thought if my husband wakes up, I'm going to say, hey, I set the clock. So don't you go and do them too. But no, our oldest daughter had a birthday. She turned 20 years old. 20 years old.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, some of our audience remembers when I was pregnant with Ellen, and she's now 20. So anyway, she got one last hour of birthday celebration, which we got to make up for that.
You're going to have to find that extra hour somewhere.
We'll find it somewhere, but it was a fun birthday. So happy birthday, Ellen, despite it all.
Happy birthday, Ellen.
Anyway, nap would have been a great thing for today. I'm just saying.
Really, I mean, there's just this little wall that all of a sudden presented itself where you go, yeah, I'm not going to make it over that one.
Yeah.
And so
and that waking up and that, there, did you drift off there for just a second?
Just 1 second.
Okay, did it help?
Not at all.
No, darn it.
They say take about a 10 to 20 minute nap, usually earlier in the day. That way it doesn't interfere with your going to bed. I just have a feeling if I were to, I'd be up till like 8 o'clock, and then I couldn't go to bed.
And then you couldn't go to sleep. Yeah. All right, wake up everybody out there, because we have a great show to start this week. First up, joining us on the couch today, our friends from a very weird fantasy football radio show and podcast.
Now, plus, what you've all been waiting for, Turn Back Time is today, and I know you're all on the edge of your seats. But before we get to all that, here's what's on the radar. Go ahead.
All right, so Tom, are you a fan of Whataburger?
Yes.
With the chain, are you? We have a Whataburger in Russellville, but it's not part of the chain. So this is a whole different Whataburger. But
that's true. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, no, this one's different. But you see Whataburger all different parts of the country.
I mean, in Fayetteville.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Tons of people are. The brand is taking advantage of the diners' enthusiasm for the burgers and fries with shoes. Makes perfect sense. Whataburger?
Well, that's not too bad.
Whataburger running shoes exist. Who knew? I didn't realize they had merch at all until I saw this, but here they are. $42.99 will get you a lovely set of those shoes. But this isn't all that you can buy in the Whataburger merch store. The chain also offers, guess what? Cowboy boots. These are Justin boots. These are nice boots. $250 nice.
What?
Buy a fair amount of burgers, won't it? And for the more budget-minded, if you're still a fan of Whataburger, you can show your burger loyalty with pillows. These will set you back at only $21.99. Little spicy ketchup and fancy ketchup.
I kind of like that.
I'm not sure I get it, but just so you know. For the gift-giving season next year, buy them up now before they run out.
That's it, what she said. Now, speaking of running out, going out to eat, you know what one of the biggest restaurant trends is? You got a guess? It's dining alone.
Okay.
Yep. According to trend watching company NPD Group, solo diners represent the largest share of restaurant party sizes. Last year, 35% of restaurant consumers were solo diners. 27% were parties of two. This is helping drive the restaurant industry that's working to make diners feel comfortable with single seating areas, and it reflects the current climate in the U.S. where 11% more people are living alone than they were a decade ago.
I was going to say delivery because I think that's a big change.
I think it is, absolutely.
People still want the food, but they want to have it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
But when you dine by yourself, you feel like one of those gourmands that come into the restaurant and sits down and
that wants to not divert their attention to anything other than the food that's in.
That's it.
Will you go out by yourself? I don't mind going out by myself.
I do once in a while.
Go to the movies, go eat, doesn't bother me at all. Some people just will not do it. It's easier when you're in a different city, I think, than if you go out in your own.
I guess, but it still doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. No. Anyway, so there you go, solo diners. All right, I'm going to take the solo diner and raise you a virtual restaurant.
Okay.
Okay, do you get what I'm talking about when I say virtual restaurant?
I assume that you put on the glasses and nothing's really there.
No. It's nothing like that.
It's gotta be.
Well, no, it's a delivery-only restaurant.
Oh.
The one I'm going to tell you about, though, offers delivery-only all-day breakfast. I found one called Two Hens. The first 20 or so locations of this little restaurant will open in California in the next couple of months. Again, it's a virtual restaurant, though. Franchisees pay a monthly license, and they share a split of the sales. Other than that, they just cook and bring you breakfast for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, which I'm always on board for breakfast at any time of day. We've talked before about the ghost restaurants, where somebody will open a restaurant, but there's really no brick and mortar.
Yeah.
They just have like a kitchen somewhere, and everything is delivery. Well, a lot of places have a kitchen space that's shared or rented out to several food providers, sort of like a rent-a-kitchen.
Yeah.
So that's another thing happening. Interesting that we talk about all these restaurant things, but it's changing. I mean, there's so much more delivery.
Yes.
And now they're starting to see the delivery-only restaurants, and now you're starting to see, the breakfast all day virtual restaurants, which I think is interesting. I don't think we have anything quite like that here, but we have a lot of delivery here.
I can see that it's a great idea, especially if you find that space. You're talking about renting out spaces. Something that a restaurant may close down. You've got brick and mortar, but you've got equipment for cooking in more volume. Yeah. You don't have to hang a shingle or anything. You just cook and send it out the door.
And some of these restaurants will share the kitchen. In other words, if a certain Italian restaurant's not open at lunch, they may do more of kind of a pop-up a few days a week during the lunch time, tidy up the kitchen, and then the regular restaurant comes in later on. So it's all changing in the restaurant industry. Really interesting how the delivery space and the solo diners and all that changing everything. Very much so. Always does.
All right, coming up, a very weird conversation with some very weird sponsors for the upcoming Man Show.
It'll be really weird. You'll love it. Don't go away. Ozarks Live is just getting started.
Stay tuned.